friends, it's Shara and I am here face to face. Yay! I have with me the gorgeous August. We are both hanging out in our Christmas jammies and the light was beautiful in here and I thought that we would stop in and have a little feed-in chat. He is amazing. I just got him and he is the like I said, the August sculpt by Don McLeod, and he was reborn by Bobby Barker, and he is absolutely just amazing. I know the camera's kind of far away, but he is incredible. He's got this white hair, just like my sister had. He looks so much like my sister. I just love him. I didn't notice on the pictures of him before I purchased him, but as soon as I pulled him out of the box, I was like, oh my gosh, that's my baby sister. I mean, she's only 2 years younger than me. She still looks like this though. She's still got light hair and fair skin. She's beautiful and he is gorgeous. So I am just so in love with him. I especially love his hands. This hand has the thumb and forefinger together, but all three of these are open, like he's telling you the number 3 in sign language, or no, that's not sign language, sorry. Sign language is 3. And then his hand over here, his right hand, all 5 digits are open and separated and gorgeous. And you can slip your finger in between his thumb and forefinger, and I can even move his hand like he's holding my finger. So that's pretty cool. So I thought I'd just share with you a little bit what I have planned. I have a lot of babies in just a short time, and they are all just amazing. I feel so lucky to have some of them, all of them. And I love all of them. I couldn't part with any of them. And so I think in total, I have 11 now, and 7 in on their way. So that will be 18 total. And I have plenty of space. I made sure of that, and I think I can do it. I think my plan is to showcase a baby each video, and I can do a change and then a feed-in chat, or we can go somewhere in the stroller. You know, I'm fortunate to live in San Diego where the weather is almost always nice. And there's so many fun places in downtown to be able to go. So let me start him on his bottle. So I really do think I can make this work with so many babies. They're just so cute, I can't resist them. I would have kept having my own babies if I thought it was socially responsible. But I stopped at 3. All right, but you gotta open up. I know you're sleepy, but you gotta take this or your little nappy won't be very long. Oh, there you go. So that's my plan with the channel. I hope you do follow me on Instagram. It's reborn.living.dolls, and I'll link it down below because I do post a lot of pictures and I try to get a variety. Right now it's kind of been focusing on Gavin, who is my August, and on Kia, who is my Lulu. I'm kind of kicking around the idea. I like the Kiki kind of nickname for her, but it's Kia, K-E-E-A. And I'm thinking, I've been posting a lot of pictures of them because they're new, but I do post a lot of pictures there so you can see the babies and see how they're doing on Instagram if I haven't done a video about them. So that's one thing, and I just thought I'd tell you a little bit about myself. I think I mentioned before that I'm 53. I have 3 children. 2 live down under. One, my oldest son Jake, he is 29 and he lives in Gold Coast, Australia. He's been there for 8 years. He loves it. It's a wonderful place. And then my daughter, who will be 25 in February. Sorry, my mouth is so dry. Probably a little nervous. She had her first child, my oldest grandson, when she was pretty young. And she and the baby's father are still together. They're married and they have 2 more children. And they live in New Zealand and they're doing wonderful. They moved there 2.5 years ago. And up until COVID, I was traveling there every few months to see them and to be there for the births of the babies and watch them grow. But the youngest one is Kata, and she is now going to be, she's going to be like 16 months old, and I haven't seen her since she was 6 months old, or she might be going to be 17 months old. Oh my gosh, time flies so fast. I haven't seen her since she was an infant, and now she's toddling around and starting to say words, and it's so sad. I do get to see them on FaceTime all the time, and my daughter and I are very close. We talk a lot, but it's nothing like hugging them and squeezing them and being there with them. So I think that's one of the reasons, well, I know it's one of the reasons that I turned to the babies. I started with Ashton Drake. I thought, oh, it'd be nice to have a baby to hold, and I just popped onto Ashton Drake, and they were so pretty in the pictures, and then you get them and they don't look anything like that, and they just didn't cut it. And so then when I discovered that reborns have completely, I mean, they blew me away. I had collected a couple of reborns in the early 2000s, like 2003. And they were just a toy doll, a Behringer doll that was stripped of its factory paint and then sanded its head to remove the molded hair, and either a wig was glued on it or it was rooted, but it was pretty rudimentary back then. They were large plugs and the hair was frizzy, and you know, they sometimes would use acrylic. So then I had started to see it evolved into mohair and smaller plugs. Nothing like today. These artists created dolls, and I commend the artists for what they had to work with in the beginning, but it's just evolved into, I mean, they look real. It looks like a real baby when you open the box, and the way the weight is distributed and the fill is done, and I mean, it's just incredible. It is such a true art form. And then silicone babies, oh my gosh. I don't think I'll ever collect a full silicone. I won't be able to dress it, not with the floppiness of their limbs and fingers. I just think I would do more damage than good. So I'm okay. I love the feel of reborns. I like the sturdiness of them. It gives me comfort in a way, because it, like, I don't know, it's like a weighted blanket. And then so I think I just went crazy because I loved them so much, and I really realized my anxiety and my depression was fading. I was really going through a lot when the election hadn't happened, and it was so it was so chaotic. I can't get that word out. It was so chaotic in our nation, and such, you know, decisiveness and unsurety. It was just a lot for me. And then COVID, and I have an ailing dog. I won't talk about him a lot because I tried this video before and I started bawling, so I had to redo it. I tried it last night on his nighttime feed and I had to delete it. It just wasn't good. But he's older. We have 3 dogs, Pixie, Max, and Bailey. Pixie and Bailey are very small. They only equal about 15 pounds between the 2 of them. And then Max is our big boy. He's about 80 pounds, maybe more. He's golden retriever, husky, lab mix, a hairy beast, and he is just amazing. And he's, 12 and a half years old, and a big dog, that's getting to the end of his life, and he's starting to show signs, and it's very hard. My son was only 10 when we got Max, and he's 23 now, so it's hard for me to watch Max, but then it's hard for me to watch my son losing Max, and that's terrible. So I sometimes walk in there and he's laying on the floor, cuddled up with Max in his bed. It's just a flat bed. He can't get up into anything. And they're just laying there, hanging out, talking, and I mean, it breaks my heart. It warms my heart and breaks my heart at the same time. So yeah, I've been, and then missing my kids and my grandkids. My oldest son was here in February. He got out just in time before we even knew about COVID. He left the end of February, and within the next couple weeks, everything happened, and he actually struggled a lot in Australia. He had just started a new company, had purchased a company he worked for, and they kept him on as general manager. And then when COVID hit, the new owners literally just disappeared, stopped paying people. Cars were repossessed, company cars were repossessed. But my son's, he's a go-getter and always positive, and he bounced back. Of course, he's young and very smart, and he's doing fabulous now. So that's good. And then we know that New Zealand, that prime minister there, she just took the bull by the horns, and she's protected her citizens very well. It's a great country to live in for, especially for a young family. So that, was causing me so much anxiety and stress and depression, and I was showing a lot of signs, and these babies have just really helped, and I just love them so much. So 18 is a lot. It's going to be my golden number right now. I'm not going to purchase anymore. I keep saying that, and then something comes up, but I really have to stop. I don't want to dip any more into savings. So anyway, I just wanted to let you get to know me a little bit and sit and have a chat and feed. He looks like he's almost done here. Let me give him a little burp. I always use diapers, cloth diapers for burp rags. I never buy those fancy ones. I just feel like, I don't know, this is what I always use. Let me get him the other way because I did suffer the stroke and I don't have full use of my right side. I had to learn to do everything. Oh boy, you got some bedhead there. I did have to learn to do stuff with my left hand, everything with my left hand. And come on, buddy. I usually put him over my shoulder, but I want you to be able to see him better. I should actually move him to this knee for you. There you go. I'm gonna show off to everybody and give a big, huge burp. Oh, big boy. He is so precious. Unbelievable. This hair is so amazing. I love their hair when it's not styled. A regular newborn baby, a live newborn baby, their hair is wacky. It's every day is crazy hair day with them. And there you go, buddy. There you go. All nice and cozy. Yeah. Oh, he is just really amazing. And I love him. His hair probably looks a huge mess right now, but I think it's adorable. It is so realistic. Oh, he's so sweet. He is just that face with that sucked in lip. I love it. Anyway, I don't know what I was speaking about. Oh, my stroke. I did lose. I can't like open my hand all the way. I can move it. When I move it, my foot tenses up. I had to have surgery on my foot to help correct some turning in and dragging that was causing me to fall a lot. Yeah, it was a lot having a stroke at 44 years old. Whew. I have been a very busy woman teaching and working as a medical assistant at the school district, and raising 3 kids as a single parent. I was in school full time, so I was just a go, go, go kind of lady. And then the next day, the brakes got put on, and it was a lot to deal with how your life turned out. It's not so much the disabilities, it's this is my life forever, and what do you do with it? And it's tough. I went through some really tough times. I still go through some tough times. You know, when you have lived a life of always having something to do and longing for those days of having nothing to do, to having nothing to do all day long and longing for something to do. It's a transition that took some work, but I made it happen by moving back to the city that I love. Kind of got caught up with work and kids in school, and was in an area I wasn't too fond of for 16 years, but you know, it was home, and I didn't want to ever move my kids out of the schools they were in, and I had, you know, fantastic job as a teacher, and I loved it, teaching high school kids and adults. And then I also worked in elementary and middle school as you know, they called me the school nurse. I wasn't an RN, but that's what I did. And I mean, it was fabulous. I loved it. And I taught medical assisting and medical terminology. I may have already said that. And so you know, I even went back to work after my stroke. I found a position. I had to finish up my clear teaching credential, and right after I did that, there was a posting for just a one class after school of medical terminology, and it was 2 days a week for 2.5 hours each day, and it was perfect. It was right by my house, and it was nice and convenient to get to. There wasn't a whole lot of kids on campus. It was just after school. And so I was able to move around. I was still using a walker back then, and able to move around without, you know, getting toppled on by kids. And it was great. I did that for 2 years. And then they decided to drop the class from that school and move it to another school. And they offered me the position, of course, but it was going to be during the day when all the kids, you know, 2,000 kids were on campus. And it was going to be 3 different classes, so that was going to just, you know, I didn't want to take that on. It was going to be too much, especially trying to maneuver with all those kids on campus. So that's when I decided to move back to San Diego, which is where I went to school. Well, 2 of my kids were born here. My oldest son was born when my first husband and I were stationed up at Northern California. And this is just the place that I've always called home, and I really feel like this is where my hometown so to say. I've lived all over San Diego, or all over Southern California, but San Diego is what I call, this is where I remember most, and what I feel most attached to, and it's great. So I have one sister that lives down here, and then my mom and my other sister live in right near Palm Springs, so that's a couple hour drive away. And then my dad has passed away, and my son, who's 23, of course, lives with me and helps me out tremendously on everything that I am unable to do or isn't safe for me to do, and he's wonderful. He's going to school, and he's a great kid. I mean, he's a man, but he's my kid. So anyway, little Gavin is sound asleep here. He said, "Mom, shut up, I'm going to sleep." So I hope you all enjoyed this long-winded feed-in chat, and I hope to do more. I certainly would love for suggestions on what it is you guys might want to see, what you want to see the babies do, what you would like for me to do with the babies. I'm going to keep them in Christmas attire until after, probably after, I'll probably change them for New Year's Eve. I'll put them in their fancy clothes for New Year's Eve, if all of them have fancy clothes. And but I'll get them dressed in something more appropriate for celebrating a new year. And but until then, you will see them in, you know, the Christmas attire. And I wish you all happy holidays. Enjoy this holiday season. It is a little bit different this year, and I see that people are kind of just rolling with it, and they've accepted it, and it is what it is, and we're embracing it because, you know, we're a strong country, and we've made it. Oh, sorry if you hear my son in the background. I wanted to play some music, but my Kindle was being dumb and it wouldn't work for me, so I'll have to investigate that. So my computer is still being repaired. I got a text that they had received it and it was in process, so I don't know what happened to it, but all of a sudden it just stopped, and it's still under warranty, so it went to HP for repair. All right, guys, I have reconfigured the nursery again. I really like it this time. It focuses more on the view out the window, and then the way the light pours in. It works great for getting photos, and I really like it. And I'll put some of those photos up on Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I'll put some of those photos up on excuse me, had the hiccups, Instagram. Okay, guys, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming in, and I appreciate the comments you're leaving, and I'm trying to respond to comments every day, and I'll keep doing that. I love them. It's amazing, your suggestions, your just your positive reactions. I really do appreciate them, and it warms my heart to know that these babies are touching your heart like they've touched mine. So take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.